You feel it now. After everything you've seen, the answer seems obvious. If rituals are missing, why not rebuild them? You're not the first to think this. Entire movements were built on that idea. And almost all of them collapsed, violently, quietly, or catastrophically. Because ritual is not a technique. It is a permission structure. And modern societies are designed to deny it. You begin to feel the absence as pressure. Not pain exactly. More like something unfinished vibrating beneath your routines. You wake up, work, scroll, improve, regulate, and still feel incomplete. So you look backward. You read about ancient initiations, vision quests, rites of passage, trials that ended one identity and forced another to emerge. You assume knowledge was lost. That if you could just reconstruct the steps, the fasting, the isolation, the ordeal, everything would return. But something deeper is missing. Ancient people did not perform rituals because they were curious. They performed them because society required endings. A child could not remain a child. A warrior could not remain untested. A leader could not rule without crossing death symbolically. Ritual was enforced by reality. You feel the difference now. No one demands that you end anything. You are allowed to remain unfinished indefinitely. And that freedom quietly suffocates you. You attend the retreat, the ceremony, the men's circle, the spiritual weekend. Everything looks correct. Candles, symbols, chants borrowed from cultures long gone. The facilitators speak carefully. The language is safe, trauma-informed, optional. You are told you may stop at any time. Your nervous system notices. This is not danger. This is simulation. Ancient rituals did not offer exit options. They did not ask for consent mid-crossing. Once you entered, you either broke or emerged. Here, nothing breaks. You cry. You feel emotional. You feel connected. And then you leave. You return to the same job, the same role, the same identity. No one outside the room recognizes anything happened, because nothing socially did. Ritual without consequence is theater. It can move you. It cannot change you. Some groups notice the hollowness. They decide the problem is intensity. They add pain, sleep deprivation, isolation, humiliation, altered states. And for a moment, it works. Something cracks. People break down. Identity destabilizes. But then something else becomes obvious. There are no elders who can hold the result. No society prepared to receive someone transformed. No place for the new self to land. Ancient initiation always ended with reintegration. The initiate returned, changed, and the community adjusted around them. Here, the initiate returns alone. Power without context becomes chaos. Transformation without structure becomes instability. This is where movements fracture. This is where leaders radicalize. This is where violence appears. Not because ritual is dangerous, but because incomplete ritual is. Eventually, attention arrives. Authorities, doctors, journalists, lawmakers. The language changes. What was once spiritual becomes psychological. What was once initiation becomes pathology. The group is labeled unsafe. Not because nothing happened, but because something real did. Modern systems are built on predictability. A person who has symbolically died and returned is unpredictable. They obey less, fear less, consume less. They are harder to manage. So the system does what it always does. It regulates. It medicalizes. It dissolves the container. Not loudly, quietly. You begin to understand something uncomfortable. Ritual is not banned because it is fake. It is restricted because it works. What survives is the version that cannot threaten structure. Branded retreats. Curated awakenings. Guided breakthroughs. Enough intensity to feel meaningful. Not enough to disrupt your role. You are allowed to transform internally. But externally, nothing must change. You return Monday morning. You keep producing. You keep consuming. You keep functioning. This is the contract. Transformation without consequence. Depth without danger. Meaning without endings. It feels real, because it is partially real. But it stops precisely where ritual would begin. Every generation produces exceptions. Groups that refuse safety. They demand total surrender. Identity death. Absolute loyalty. They succeed where others fail. People emerge changed. Completely. And that is why they are feared. Not because they are irrational, but because they reintroduce endings. The cost is enormous. Isolation. Control. Violence. When ritual is restored without society, it mutates, becomes authoritarian, because something must replace the missing communal container. This is why these groups are dismantled, and why they keep reappearing. At some point, you stop blaming individuals. You see the structure. Ritual cannot return publicly, because modern society cannot survive its results. Initiation creates people who do not need endless guidance, who do not fear uncertainty, who do not rely on constant regulation. Systems built on continuity cannot allow mass endings. So the door remains closed. Not accidentally, deliberately. There will be no official return of ritual. No sanctioned initiation. No public permission to end who you were. The absence is permanent. But responsibility is not. You will cross thresholds quietly. End identities privately. Without witnesses. Without language. The system will not name these moments for you. But they will still happen. And when they do, you will understand why ancient societies treated endings as sacred. Ritual did not disappear because humans evolved past it. It disappeared because it was too powerful to survive modern systems. And now you know why bringing it back is never simple. Some doors were not locked by accident. They were sealed.